Hello, Earth Signs, and welcome to The Mystery. I am Matt, and I am a psychic medium, eclectic witch, and what have you. I practice a lot of chaos magic. I do a lot of séances, that kind of thing, very much in the old Victorian style. I am also currently working on setting up a GoFundMe. I've already got almost $240-ish towards taking myself on the road with a gypsy caravan and leaving my mundane job, which is seeming like not so much of a choice anymore, and moving on to the road so I can network with people that I work with, and so I can go to conventions, do more mediumship for more of the general populace. My formal training, after 5 years of my own development in mediumship, comes from Miss Patty Negri, the recurring role who is called on to Ghost Adventures as a medium on the Travel Channel and Discovery Plus. She's an absolute sweetheart. She's absolutely phenomenal, and she has given me a lot of wisdom and a lot of discernment in my path so far. If you'd like to check me out on any of my links down below, that would be wonderful. My GoFundMe's down there. My Buy Me a Coffee's down there. It's kind of like Patreon, but it has more options for one-time donations. And also, you can find me at any of my other socials at www.themystery, that's mistery.me. Also, through the Mysteries website, you can find the Book Now tab, and all of my private sessions are listed there as well, which can involve mediumship, they can involve tarot, oracle, Lenormand, charm casting, what have you. If I do it, I can cram it into one session. We will do what is most effective for the moment for spirit and for you. Alongside that, I do house cleansings and blessings, and I can come to you for that, provided if the distance is not too far. I also do private seances virtually and in my own home as well, if you are local to the Mount Vernon, Illinois area. But without further ado, let's get on to our Earth Signs charm casting forecast for the week of May 29th through June 4th of 2022. Now, I just got back from a psychic festival this whole weekend, and I was doing mediumship readings like crazy, nonstop, every hour of both days. So my charm casting set has definitely sat in selenite for a while. Okay, here we go. Earth signs for the week of May 29th through June 4th, 22. I'm definitely being led right at the beginning that our Earth signs are going to have a need to be very passionate and almost deceptively passionate in their feminine energy. Coming back down to that raw emotional state and using their intuition just on the outside of that to suss everything out. I don't see too many new beginnings, but there may be it may be the case where you're having to trick yourself into being in the feminine energy a little bit, be more deceptive on being vulnerable, getting yourselves into those moments where you're more vulnerable, almost forcing yourself to be more vulnerable, but in a tricky way. And noticing that there's not as much energy of a new start right now, and that leading to more faithfulness towards your commitments. Realizing that you're going to need to spend more time being more vulnerable and more open and intimate with yourself in a way that draws you more closely to your commitments, and that's most likely commitments towards yourself. Alongside not necessarily needing any new starts right now, that is between your commitments and your vulnerability. So the need for no new starts right now is sort of the thing that holds the middle ground between your commitments and your vulnerability. And there will be even more messages towards that as well. As soon as you start to get yourself out there a little bit more this next coming up week, you may be hit with some messages that are more definitive and defined and out there that say, yo, you need to kind of pull back a little bit and be a little bit more vulnerable with yourself as opposed to extending your own energy. And right on the outside of that is, and it's a little bit farther away than I would like, is fully stepping into that energy. So you may feel a more of an assertive pull um, towards those committed to vulnerable moments, to those moments where you need to be more vulnerable. You may feel a more assertive pull, but it may be a little bit farther away than in your grasp right now. Up top, it looks like we have some sneaky messengers coming in. So if you have some people that are in your field of view or not that may contact you, you can expect almost an unexpected message from somebody who you are aware of or were not aware of, kind of out of the blue. And I sort of see a line up here where there's things are starting to go a little bit more your way, and you're able to internalize more. A lot of your blockages and boundaries are sort of pointing away from your internalization, so they're on almost the outside of the sphere, or it's like you're in the egg, and everything outside of the egg is what causes the trauma and the boundaries, but it is keeping you safe on the inside, and that leading to further comfort. And just when you're comfortable is when that message comes in. Okay. Let's see what we got down here. I know these are slightly different energies than last week, even though there's some common themes. Okay. Our significator arrow is pointing right past your social life. So it's pointing right past your social life, so it may look appealing right now, but again, staying closer to the home and manifesting all of your wishes, all your dreams within the home is going to be more useful. And doing so coming from a masculine perspective. Taking yourself, pulling up your boots by the straps, and manifesting through that energy at home. It almost feels like that there's more of a need for spell work, gnosis, meditation, anything within that wheelhouse on the spiritual realm. Any of that, the work, quote unquote, the work, no matter what belief system you fall under, is going to need to be done within the next week. I see a lot of that revolving around examining your loyalties. It's almost like you've got ideas and points of view and perspectives and projects and extensions of yourself off in different areas, and you're going to have to determine where your loyalties need to best lie. Once you find where your loyalties need to best lie, then you will lead to more and more vitality, which is all right here. I see a crux moment right here with the scythe, which is the scissors, which is in smack dab in between a death card moment in the tarot, sort of an moving towards endings and then moving out of those endings into new beginnings. It's almost a crux in between an ending and a new beginning that has to do with your inner child. And it will be definitely supported, that death card moment will be supported if you are within your vitality. Now, on the other side, there may be a slight more of a need for abundant energies because of this death card energy, but smack dab in between the death card energy and the need for abundance, it's pointing right past your passions. So, my best word of advice here is the energies in the middle are going to point right by your passions. I see more of your passions leading directly to that death card energy. That change that's more necessary than you may even be able to realize. And there doesn't need to be any chatter related to any of the oppressive energies. Whatever's coming up, Any gossip that you can mitigate, do so, because it would be far benefiting you. And also, that goes the same way if I were to say gossip in your own head, so mental chatter. I always say that this whip card charm is the type of oppression that's like an old lady perfume. It's literally a perfume bottle. It sort of exudes and it evades the air and sort of coats everything around it. Your key, your unlock moment, is pointing directly towards your passions as well. So that shows that it's almost like a triangulation here. Your death card moment through your inner child is almost fed through unlocking your situation by turning away from any of the disease or festery negativity, unlocking it by sliding just past your passions, acknowledge them, but then fuel them by manifesting them into the physical, and then pointing directly up towards that death card turning point moment that sort of catapults you into a new situation. Your best grounding within the next week will come by anchoring yourself in delegating your decisions. So any of your choices, your decisions, you may want to table for next week or delegate them to somebody else. But make sure you have them delegated onto somebody who you trust fully, especially within Mercury retrograde, because communication's a little bit iffy. So make sure if you do delegate any of your decision making, delegate it to people you trust 1000%. If not, then go ahead and table some of those decisions for now. Let's see. And right next to that, you may have some confusing emotions when it comes to what decisions to table and what decisions to delegate and what decisions to actually make. And that's perfectly okay. And I feel like, let's see. I feel like you're best going to be served in a way that goes where your vulnerability and intimacy with yourself lies. So if you can find those points of your own vulnerability and intimacy, those energy lines, go with them. Let them take you away and travel with them. And that can definitely aid you in your next week. I hear put down the book and actually go out and put these things into practice. And then underneath that will be all of the foundational energies of everything that is the spiritual. Everything that is hidden knowledge, everything that is flux and flow and liminal space, and everything that fosters an environment of directing your own will to get your desires manifest in front of you. So I hope that you enjoyed this charm casting forecast for the week of May 29th through June 4th for our earth signs. And don't forget that if you would like a personal or private reading, to get more of a general idea what's going on with specific questions, I do half-hour and 1-hour in-person sessions and online sessions. If you're local to the Mount Vernon, Illinois area, you can come chill with me in my Victorian parlor and have some tea, and we can look at all my Victorian antiques, and you can get a reading like this. But you will have unlimited questions to be asked and gone over within the half hour or hour that you have for your reading. Also, along with tea and along with some nice conversation and company. And the same is true with online or virtual readings. I read through Facebook Messenger, video call. I could read through Zoom. I could read through however we can figure it out to manifest on your screen. And granted, I can't provide the tea in that situation, but you can provide the beverage of choice, and we can do this same exact thing right here on the screen. Reminder that all of my links are in the description. including my GoFundMe to take my mediumship on the road and be able to leave my mundane job with a little bit more of a secure mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual reality, and to be able to take all of that to more people. A lot of people are vulnerable right now after the last couple of years. A lot of deaths have happened, and a lot of people want to hear from their loved ones, coming from a place of integrity, and that is my complete goal. Again, I want to say I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will catch you guys next week.